What are the key things about this iteration of the census, the 2020 iteration, that in your view are interesting or different, or to which we should pay most attention?
Yeah, so I think, I mean, for me, the reapportionment of seats is interesting. I mean, Minnesota's probably going to lose a seat, although interestingly, if the citizenship question had been on the census, we probably wouldn't, because it would mean there'd be undercounts in Texas and California,
Right.
where our seat is probably going to go. That's one thing. You know, I like all this mathy stuff. So Montana will probably have 2 seats for the first time in a long time, so they'll have to redistrict. To me, that's all interesting.
So there's been that much population growth in Montana?
If I have this correct, last time that district, the single district of Montana, was the biggest district population-wise. I think
So they were
that's right.
pushing up against the limits of
Yeah,
having
like
one
they
district.
would have gotten, so the way that these seats work is each state gets 1 seat, and then they're doled out one at a time. And Minnesota was the last state to get a seat. Montana was one of the, would have been one of the next couple to get the next seat. I can't quite remember the ordering. You can do the algorithm pretending like that we have 500 seats or whatever you want. So that's interesting. In terms of and my big thing these days is partisan gerrymandering, because that's where, as opposed to like racial gerrymandering or something else, I mean, that's interesting, but in terms of how math and stats are being used, that's the big place we're having a lot of successes in courts. So to see sort of how that unfolds, the redistricting process is my personal interest. The census form itself this time has some new interesting options to check. So if you are white, like we are, we'll be able to say whether we're German or Irish or various types of Caucasian background. If you're black, for Minnesota, you could check your Somali, you could check your Jamaican. So those are options. And also for the first time, same-sex partner households will be kept track of.